Tarot of Haunted House. What we got for the collective this weekend? Somebody could be busy doing something this weekend. They're not really going to be able to do something, complete something, accompany someone. I feel as though somebody is like, there isn't going to be a lot of communication. Somebody could be waiting for something, and I'm not sure that it's actually going to be coming in. Okay? So, something vacant. Something is missing from something or someone. Something's missing. Something's missing. Somebody may have lost something. Somebody took too long. Somebody's too slow. Somebody's too slow. All right? That's what I'm getting. Somebody took too long. Somebody's too slow. Something could be maybe losing its zest, losing its appeal. Could be. I don't know. Well, and I never wear this shirt. I never wear this shirt, but something said wear that shirt today. Hopefully everything's all right. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. All right, let's get some more on this. It's in the upright. 8 of Wands. And we also have Queen of Cups. So somebody has not been hearing from another person. Please make sure you use discernment in these readings so that you know who it is that you're talking about. Okay? Because for whatever reason, this reading could be somebody outside of your present situation. Because I'm picking up something about that. Something made me say, make sure that you're using discernment about this reading. It's not going to be plainly obvious who this is. So with that being said, you got the 6 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You have the 9 of Swords here. The 8 of Wands. There is someone who, let's say somebody's like, you know what? We've known each other for a long time. Why aren't you speaking to me? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And it doesn't even have to be something about 9 months. Why did I say 9 months? Okay, weird. All right, I just got a couple different things. I did see that Queen of Cups. Sometimes the Queen of Cups can be like depicted as someone that maybe has a little bump, pregnant. Somebody could have been a couple different things. Somebody could be 9 months pregnant. And they may find out that somebody's been, hasn't been talking to somebody else or doing something, or there hasn't been any kind of movement or motion. Somebody may be curious about that. Maybe they feel like somebody is like, because I am carrying or with child, that you're supposed to honor me, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, but a lot of people don't feel that way, unfortunately, and that's why we have so much sadness in the world. So just because, you're carrying somebody's child doesn't mean that somebody's automatically going to be faithful to you. Just like when you get married. Just because getting married doesn't mean somebody's automatically going to abide by those rules. Some of us learn that very, very quickly. So you have that. You also have the aspect of, this could be somebody outside of the present situation. Let's say you've moved on from something and another person maybe kind of comes back. Somebody that maybe you don't want to hear from. And, something about this person. It's kind of interesting because I keep looking at this picture right here. I'm not going to say anything yet. It's like somebody may, have been possessed. Maybe they might even say that they had been possessed. Maybe they thought somebody was possessive of them. It could be something like that. And that could have been part of whatever, somebody was like, I'm not down for that. I'm not okay with that. I felt like you were probably being a little bit too possessive with me. And that may be why, something may have gone awry. Somebody may have done something out of character, or maybe they have maybe their time has been pulled away. It's a different scenario. Let's say their time has been pulled away. Somebody kind of possessed them. So if you're out, you're away from your partner. Let's say you're away from your partner and you're wondering why you're not hearing from your partner. You know that your partner's out and you know your partner's safe. However, they're with somebody and you're not even really suspecting anything crazy or unusual because of trust. That's why you have the Hierophant. However, somebody may possess that other person's energy, may possess their attention. Okay. And that's why somebody maybe who ordinarily is faithful is not going to respond because someone else has their attention, is what I'm getting. Somebody may come back and explain to you that that's what happened. And maybe that's why something didn't go quite as expected or planned. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm kind of getting something along these lines. Somebody maybe is ready and willing to discuss something or talk about something. King of Swords. Four of Wands. Six of Wands. High Priestess. So let's say I'm getting a hint of somebody may have... this is an old energy that I was getting back last summer. It's the same energy coming back. It's the same energy coming back. At least that's what it's looking like to me. That's what it feels like. There is someone that's actually planning their move, planning a move. Somebody maybe wants to come together. There even could be somebody, so let's say you had planned on moving with somebody. This is somebody at a distance. Something had happened. It was like somebody was celebrating too soon. It was like somebody was celebrating too soon. All right. I am getting that. Like when somebody, it's like when you have somebody, or I've had this in relationship happen to me before. I'm sure we all have. Well, I don't know if all of us have. But you get into a relationship with somebody, and when somebody has you, they feel like they don't need to put in any more effort anymore. Once they have you in the home, once they feel like you are, you're mine, I possess you, I don't need to show you any more attention. It's like this plan that somebody may have had, and whatever it was, it caused you to it was something where it was like you went against your intuition, but your intuition was telling you something different. You may have sensed it, you may have felt it. I mean, somebody could be going through this right now, but I'll tell you why I was kind of getting something about a past. Well, because you have this Three of Wands in reverse and you have this Page of Cups in reverse. It's like once you were there, it was like once you were in their lair, like Dr. Evil, the evil lair. Once you were in their lair, they thought that they could just, get away with whatever. I have a lot of people do that to me. I've had people do that to me in the past. They think that it's like people tend to underestimate you. They think that if they act a certain way, like if they have you hooked, that you're not going to leave. People tend to forget that sometimes not everyone is the same. And sometimes people will surprise you. So whenever certain things happen, to certain people, you learn from that mistake. You learn from whatever it was that you did, where you gave too much rope for them to hang you. And then after some time, you get into a relationship with somebody else, and then you see a pattern of somebody doing something. And then they start treating you the same way that the other person did. And then maybe this could have even been a pattern in your life where you're finding you're being possessed by people who are demonic. I'm getting this theme around it. So people will do anything to kind of abuse you, hurt you, push your buttons, treat you a certain way, neglect you, then act like you're crazy, push it all onto you, acting like it's all your fault. Okay? And then when people do these things and then you recognize this pattern and you've been down that road before and you actually do love yourself. You love that person, but you actually do love yourself. And you up and leave. Like a ghost in the night. And people are like, I can't believe this person left me. They don't want to put up with my views. You know, they have this thought that, you know, you're never going to leave. They can treat you any way that they want. Well, no, not all of us are like that. Some of us will love you with our entire heart. But the second that we realize that somebody is not treating us with the respect that we deserve, or the respect that is with respect, period. Respect, period. We're going to leave. We're going to leave. And that's what you got. So, justice. There's nothing, you know, bad in the card. It's just a little provocative. That's all. There's nothing bad about the card, but I'm just going to cover it anyway. The Lovers. So, what I'm kind of getting is, and I know a lot of times in life, I try to rule out certain things before I make, you know, I don't want to say a judgment, but a ruling. I try to weigh certain things, look at certain things. I try to look at myself to make sure that I'm not reacting out of a place of my own traumas, my own wounding. I do try to take a step back and reflect and make sure, oh, well, maybe, you know, and try to analyze why somebody may have done something. You know, because it could have been something that I'm doing, or am I overreacting? You know, and that could have been what somebody was going through too. I'm thinking that. So with that being said, I try not at first to think somebody is bad. I do my best to not think that. However, you know, sometimes we realize that person is bad. They're just a spoiled egg. You know, they're a bad egg. You know, they're a little rotten inside. There's something in them that's rotten, that's forcing them to do certain things that are very uncalled for, that are very cruel, that are not even justified. You know, the crime, if there even is a crime, it doesn't merit, you know, the penalty that is being inflicted. Okay. So, with that being said, whoever this person is, I feel as though they've had something handed back to them. They thought that they were going to get away with something and they didn't. I feel as though whoever this person is, let me get some more on this. You know, because look at that. Because sometimes people don't realize, yeah. Star, Five of Swords. Sometimes people don't realize that the slightest actions that they do can really, really cause a lot of harm or damage. Whether it's to a person or even just to a relationship. A lot of times we don't realize the things that we do. We tend to look at people. We look at the exterior and we make all judgments based on that. And we don't realize that, you know, all of us, most of us, have some serious trauma that we've been through. And it's not really fair to make an assumption just based off of whatever it is that somebody's basing it off of. Appearance. Whether somebody looks like they're all together. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know if they were abducted, you know, at some point. Tormented, tortured, you know. Like literally. You don't know what somebody's been through. You don't know. And people tend to go off appearances. You know, just because somebody looks like they're okay, it doesn't mean that that isn't inside of them. They just don't wear it. They don't wear it everywhere that they go. Some people do their best to heal that and to try to be a productive person in society. Now with this, I got this King of Wands here. Whoever this person is, somebody actually did. I feel like when they wanted something, or they got whatever it was that they wanted, and they abused it, and they didn't realize the aftermath or the kickback. They didn't realize that whatever it was that they were doing was going to cause the damage or the harm that it did cause. Okay? They didn't realize that this person was going to leave. They thought that this person was so consumed by them. You know, this person loves me, they're not going anywhere. Oh, you know, they're going to go somewhere. They're going to leave. If you treat them bad, they're going to leave. You know, sometimes certain things happen and it like puts a bad taste in your mouth and you don't quite feel the same sometimes either. You do have those things. Now, I feel like this person, whatever it was that they did, they got a dose of their own medicine. They could be stuck with somebody that they don't want to be with. And a lot of it could have been based out of, you know, lust. They could have a certain attachment to somebody. Maybe their attachment has to do with, you know, something about their upbringing, you know, family member, a parent, you know. Maybe you exemplify certain characteristics of somebody else that they didn't like. Okay. Not saying you as in you, but figure out who you are in this scenario. So you have a lot of stuff going on here. I was going strong with the second, you know, but the first thing that I was talking about, there was a few things over here that was going on. I feel like that could have been the start of it. So however this was that it transpired, or however it was that it started out, somebody was dealing with somebody, and it's like somebody else possessed them. So it's like, you know, you can have somebody who's very, very good, who would never cheat on somebody, or who would never, you know, do certain things. And it takes the right person, you know, to pull somebody away, to possess them, to take their energy, to take their, you know, their attention away from the person or the thing that it is that they really do want, causing that person to act out of character. Okay. There's always going to be temptation around us. There's always, I'm surprised the devil is in here. There's always going to be temptation around us. So it's up to us to be able to have control and to live with the Hierophant. I love the part of the following the moral compass. It's up to us to choose to do good. It is up to us to choose to do right. It is not an accident. If something comes your way, it doesn't mean that it's a sign for you to take it. It doesn't always mean that. And there's a lot of people that, you know, they'll flip through, you know, tarot, you know, or they'll flip through TikTok, and they won't seek out the rest of a reading or whatever. And it could be something very, very gravely important that they need to know in that reading. But because it didn't show up in the For You page, they refuse to go and seek out the rest of the story. Sometimes we have to choose too. Okay? Just because something lands on your doorstep, it does not mean, you know, that you should take it, whether it's good or bad. We have to be discerning. We have to choose to do the right thing. You know, if you are involved in marriage, if you are about to marry somebody, if you have somebody pregnant, if you're pregnant, however it is, if you are kind of intertwined with someone energetically in relationship, whether it's agreed upon, whatever it is, just because something else comes into your line of sight that looks a little tempting, it doesn't mean that's from God. You know, it could be from the devil. So you have to choose to do good. Choose to do right. Just because it lands in front of you, it doesn't mean that that's what it is that you're supposed to take. It's something to really, really think about. We have to be cognizant. We have to know right from wrong. Okay? Not everything that lands in front of us is a sign for us to take. We have to choose to take the right path. Choose to do the right thing. So I feel like somebody's definitely healed from a lot of that. Somebody's definitely healed from a lot of that. Now, there is someone, for some of you, there is someone that's that's doing something behind your back. And they may not like you, or they may want to do something to sabotage you. Whether it's this person, it could be this person, or somebody around it, affiliated with it, attached to it. Could be a flying monkey. Sometimes people, sometimes you talk bad about somebody. And, that person's image, that let's say somebody tells you something bad about another person. Now, let's say that person never did it. But for whatever reason, that's painted in your mind forever, even though that person probably never even committed whatever it was. So it's always your mission to do something to retaliate against that person and pick on them, even though they never did anything. You just had somebody else that probably lied to you and told you that this person did something bad, and they didn't do it. They said they didn't do it. Okay? And you're partaking in that karma. There's a lot of different elements going on here. I hope everyone's kind of making sense of this. The moral of the story here is make sure that you are aware and that you are choosing to do the right thing at all times. You must choose. I keep hearing this stern voice again. It's this stern voice. You have to choose to do the right thing. You must choose. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. I don't know. That's it. I'm just going to leave it there. Somebody is definitely healing from it. And there is somebody behind somebody's back that could be trying to do something or sabotage. Somebody could just be keeping something going. Somebody could be keeping something going. And it's like, it's done. Are you okay? It's done. If you can't let something go, get yourself some help. Okay? I'm not trying to sound rude, but that's kind of what I'm getting from this. It's a very, I'm not going to say what the energy is. But it's like, if you are feeling like this, where you have to kind of continue to do something, you really have to kind of check in with yourself to find out why it is that you're continuing. Even if you had a disagreement, so you disagree. You disagree. That's it. People don't always have to agree on everything. You have a disagreement about something. Two people saw something different ways. Chalk it up to, okay, that's that. We're not going to agree with that. We can't get past it. There's no reason to keep it going. Let it go. If somebody's continuing to do something to hurt somebody behind somebody's back, you might need to, you might really need to kind of, do something about that. Figure out why it is that you're feeling like that, where you just can't just let something go. Okay. All right. Sometimes things just go. Sometimes things are just not meant to hold on to. They are supposed to be released. All right. Anyway, that's it. Like, comment, share, follow. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell.